The agencies who adopt and reference NFPA codes and standards understand the benefits. The first benefit is that the cost of the development of the codes and standards, of course, is borne by the private organization and not by the taxpayers. So there's a real savings to people, to federal government, to the state governments, to the local governments that use NFPA codes and standards. But of course, you also get the benefit of standardization. You know, we've got one code that is used for instance, the National Electrical Code. Every state that uses the National Electrical Code uses basically the same requirements. They might make some minor changes, but they're basically the same requirements. And that really helps interstate commerce, it helps business, it improves the level of safety uniformly all across the country. So that's a tremendous benefit. But the other thing that we're able to do that governmental agencies can't is we can have a very inclusive process. We can include anybody who's got a legitimate contribution to make, whether they're an enforcement official, a manufacturer, a consultant, an educator. If they've got some technical expertise that can advance the safety mission, we want them to sit around our table and be involved in that process. And public agencies don't have the same flexibility to do that, and they can't do it as quickly as we can. So there are many, many benefits, I think, to the public by using private organizations to do this. The system has stood the test of time for many, many decades now, and I think it's a system that we have to protect. I think this is the original public-private partnership. You know, public agencies have relied on organizations like NFPA for decades to provide the technical information necessary to protect the public, and I think it's a system that has worked very, very well over the last years and can work really well into the future as well. If government wanted to do this work itself, it would be extremely costly, and it would be extremely difficult, probably impossible, to do it quite like we do it, because we can call on the private sector. They volunteer their time to organizations like ours, and they wouldn't do that with governmental agencies. But governmental agencies are prevented in some cases from pulling together the same diversity of interests that we do. And I think they would be the first to tell you they could never do it as quickly as we can. You know, we revise our major codes every 3 years, which is a pretty big undertaking. Because of legal requirements and because of bureaucracy, it would take government much, much longer to do that. And so it's a situation that has worked well for the governmental agencies, it's worked well for the standards developing organizations, but most importantly, it's really worked well for the public. It provides the highest level of safety that the public could ask for.